Hello, my name is Victor Rivera, and this is my social network presentation. This was an amazing movie. I thought that this was probably the most impacting and inspiring movie of all the movies that we've seen so far this semester. Especially since we know that Mark Zuckerberg, the way that they played this movie, it was somewhere about most of our students' age. So it's like kind of like my age. So I really felt connected to him, and it really inspires me. It really motivates me to come up with an idea, to get more involved, to connect with other people that want to lead as well. That's really important. Instead of getting more followers, we should actually be striving to lead with others and find more leaders. Um, this was an amazing movie. It had a great cast of characters. Um, Mark Zuckerberg was played by Jesse Eisenberg. Justin Timberlake played the role of Sean Parker, and that Eduardo Saverin, the actor that played him was amazing. That was just that was almost like pretty much an award-winning performance. I believe that was just a great job. And now I'm gonna be talking about how the movie connected to the readings in the book. And once we see the movie, we saw a clash between the differences of leadership styles of Eduardo Saverin. You had the leadership styles of Sean Parker, and you had the different style of leadership with Mark Zuckerberg. And I ask you, how can we bring our experience? Like this was, I thought this movie was an experience. Like when watching it, it made me feel connected, because there was different types of inspiration, influence, coaching. A type of change agent was in the movie. You have to fight for change if you want it to be such a big figure. Such as these three folks, they were change agents, and they each had their own ideas. And once you make change, you start to gather a type of momentum. And I thought that Mark Zuckerberg in the movie, he was the momentum. He created from the very beginning. It takes a true leader to start momentum, and timing was key. If Facebook would have been done a year later, it might not have been as successful as it was at that time. It needed to be at the perfect time. It needed to be at the perfect place, and it worked out perfectly. Growth is also very important. If you want to be able to expand, if you want to be able to have more leaders to work with, if you want to have a very strong corporation, you want it to grow. You want to find the best people for the job, and that's really important. And how are we going to bring this experience to life? We're about to find out. When I read the Emotionally Intelligent Leadership book, I saw that it was important to inspire and influence others. And that can be found in the 15th and 16th chapter of the book. When I read inspiration, it said that what motivates and moves others towards a shared vision. There was a lot of inspiration in this movie. And once you go to chapter 16, you also saw influence. And that's why I think they both go hand in hand. Sean Parker was probably one of the most influential characters in the movie, in the way he, convinced Mark Zuckerberg to create Facebook, to keep going with it, to expand to California, to do all of these things. That was a little bit of a coach as well. That's why I think when we talk about coaching here, it really goes hand in hand with inspiring and influence others. It's really good coaches that can actually do those things. And coaches create leaders that become change agents. I thought that the Emotionally Intelligent Leadership book really connected. In these 4 chapters, they had a great connection between all 4 chapters of reading. And coaches train and prepare you. And in coaches, they have different styles. Some of them are going to be hard, some of them are going to be relaxed, some of them are going to be laid back. And I thought that Sean Parker was a laid back but straight to business type of coach. He was like, we can have fun, but at the same time we got to take care of business. And that's a great attitude, especially in the business world. You want to be able to look cool, and that was cool. And that also meshes with what Facebook was all about. It's about having a cool company. And once you inspire and get influenced, that allows you to be a change agent. And effective leadership is all about making change happen. And that means involving others. I thought it was very good job by Mark Zuckerberg to get Eduardo Saverin involved and all of his other comrades to get involved and get Facebook going. If it wasn't for them, Facebook might not have even existed, because Saverin actually gave the funds to Mark Zuckerberg to create this company. And true leaders find ways to get stuff done, and Mark Zuckerberg did just that in the movie. And I ask you, how are we going to be the change agent in our lives? We're learning so much right now. So we need to start thinking about how we're going to change our organizations that we're involved in. How are we going to change our relationships with friends that we might have, tough times with. If you disagree with someone, find a way to make good things happen. And one of probably my favorite chapter of all the readings that we've done so far for this movie is The Law of Big Mo. I really found a lot of connections with it. I found so many connections that I actually found a way to disagree with the book. And in The Law of Big Mo, which is the law of motivation, I had those few quotes that I really thought was interesting. An organization with no momentum is like a train at a dead stop. Basically, if you have nothing going for you, then you're basically just sitting there still, not doing anything. It takes a, and then once let me go down here. Momentum begins inside the leader. When we saw in the movie, Mark Zuckerberg, he could have sat there, he could have stayed all day comparing pictures of girls all day long, and he might not have even come up with that idea of creating Facebook. If it wasn't for that idea that he began, and if it wasn't for that momentum that he sparked, there might not even be a Facebook. It could still be MySpace that's popular today. Just imagine life so different. That would change everybody's lives. And yep, it takes a leader to create momentum. And I thought that since I'm like Spanish, my dad used to tell me the word ganas, and in a way that's like desire. It's the type of desire that you have. It's the type of passion. Like we say, "Usted tiene la gana para hacer esto?" Do you have the desire to do this? If you don't have desire, then how are you going to develop motivation and momentum? And I think motivation and momentum kind of go hand in hand, because you need to be motivated to create that momentum. So I think it should be the law of Big Mo. And one thing I really disagreed with was when the author said, momentum is like a magnifying glass. Makes things look bigger than they really are. Momentum, I think, is something that it's created by human nature. I think that once someone creates momentum, that's from that person. It's a natural feeling that you get. Of course, if let's say if a basketball team is playing a game, and like I said in the book, they're on a roll, they're making all these shots in a row, they say that's momentum, and in the book it says it's bigger than it really is. But in actuality, I think that whatever's going on is what's going on. If there's momentum that you see, then it's not really like a magnifying glass. It's right there in your eyes. It's nothing bigger than it is. It's just really good performance. And that's what I think. That's what momentum is. I think that the author was actually exaggerating momentum in this definition. Hopefully you catch my drift here. And this was why I thought it was a very interesting chapter. Motivation is what drove Mark Zuckerberg, is what drove Sean Parker. It's what drove Eduardo Saverin to create Facebook and expand it. And without motivation, it's hard to, and momentum, it's hard to go very far these days. Law of timing and explosive growth. When I read 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, the law these two kind of pretty much go hand in hand as well. The right actions need to be done at the right time. And in this movie, Mark Zuckerberg did what he needed to do at the right time. Because there was people that they were trying to take his idea. They would, even though I don't think very many people were capable of him doing all this programming, it was still, you never know. some big company can find the idea before Zuckerberg publishes it or patents it, and it could be all, the idea could be all gone, and there goes his billions of dollars. Timing is very important, and no leader can escape the law of timing. In our daily lives, we all have to make decisions, you know, based on the time and based on every moment. Like right now, I'm making this presentation right now. I could have done it yesterday, but you know what? I made my decision, and as a leader, I want to get this done before the deadline. Timing is very important. Law of explosive growth. I also call this the law of exponential growth. If you want to have, pretty much what it means is, like, if you want to have a good organization, you want to hire good leaders. You don't want to hire people that are going to follow you. You want to hire people that are going to succeed you. And you want to impact people beyond your reach. Your goal should be, instead of having all of these people in our organization, it's better to have 100 amazing leaders than like 1,000,000 followers, because those leaders can exponentially create millions of followers, like a lot of people. And that's it's very hard to keep leaders in your organization. That's why you have to keep it very interesting, and you really want to have the best that you can, but you have to make sure that you set up that environment to make the best. So explosive growth is very important. You need to time everything right. You need to have the proper momentum in order to have all these leaders, and then you can have explosive growth. You can apply all of these readings to your life if you time things right. If you become friends with the right people that are gonna, you know, push you forward. If you find the right leaders to join your organization, you're going to be living these 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. You're going to be putting them into practice, and that's very important, especially as we keep on taking courses and as we keep on applying them into our daily lives. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I was wondering, how were you inspired by the film? I know that one person is probably going to respond to this video, and I want to know what inspired you in this film. What was your aha moment? And you can always add me on Facebook as under Victor V-Dog Rivera. That's kind of funny, but you know, it's Facebook movie, so might as well add me on Facebook. Alright, thank you for watching. You have a great day.